Hey there everybody! Have you ever had anyone you know disappear? I don't know about you, but whenever I walk into a room, at least 90% of the girls in that room disappear out the door. But I rest good knowing that I've never had my entire colony disappear. But there was this guy in the 1500s that cannot relate to that statement. And since it's Halloween and I would say people disappearing is pretty scary, we're going to be talking about this. So basically, a long time ago in the 1500s, there was this colony in Virginia called the Roanoke that was led by this guy named Sir Walter Raleigh. And everything in this colony was all hunky-dory, except for the fact that they were constantly getting attacked by Native American tribes that weren't happy with the Roanoke just showing up and claiming their land, and also there was a famine and constant disease outbreaks. So you can already tell that this colony was just a wonderful place to live. Anyway, this Sir Walter Raleigh guy decided that things were so bad that they needed help from someone, so in 1587 he sailed over to England to ask for help. Anyway, 3 years later he eventually got tired of tea and crumpets and was like, man, I completely forgot about that colony in Virginia I'm leader of, I should go check on them. So he sailed back to Virginia only to find that everybody and pretty much everything in the Roanoke colony was gone, and all they could find was a tree with the word Croatoan carved into it. And this all leaves us with some questions, like what happened to this colony? Now there are a lot of theories trying to explain what happened, and some are more stupid than others, but we're going to be talking about all these theories to try and figure out what happened to these guys. One of these theories is that their disappearance has something to do with one of the Native American tribes. And honestly, this is probably the most reasonable of the theories because Croatoan is literally written on the tree, and Croatoan is a Native American tribe and also the name of an island in that area. In my opinion, thinking it's anything but this theory is completely stupid because that's like if your grandma disappeared and then you see a note saying I'm at the neighbor's house and then you don't check the neighbor's house. Luckily, this Sir Walter guy wasn't stupid and figured it meant that the Roanoke went to live on Croatoan Island with the Croatoan. But before he could go to Croatoan Island, his ship broke and he couldn't get there, so he was never able to confirm that they were indeed there. Another theory that's not completely stupid is that the Roanoke decided that this place they were living in stunk so bad that even England was better, and they decided to try to go back to England. This theory is supported by the fact that all the ships present at Roanoke were gone when the Walter guy got back, and honestly it makes a lot of sense that they would want to leave Virginia. I mean, most of their neighbors don't like them, there's no food here, and they're constantly getting diseases. England just has no dentists. That sounds a lot better than starving. Now, most people think that they sunk trying to get to England, but in my opinion, they probably also could have made it to England and just no one knew. I mean, in this day and age, unless you live in northern Canada or something like that, it's pretty hard to disappear without a trace. But back in the day, they really had no way of knowing where you went if you didn't tell anyone. Heck, in the 1500s, I could probably move from Michigan to like Duluth, Minnesota or something, and if I didn't leave a note, it's likely no one will find me. So in my opinion, it's not unlikely that they just made it to England and nobody knew. Now these theories just mentioned were some of the more logical theories, but there are also a lot of illogical theories. One of these theories is that they were abducted by aliens and taken to another planet. Personally, I find this quite stupid, because what would aliens want with a colony of starving and disease-ridden people? I don't even think doing experiments on these people would do much for the aliens, because likely all they would find out is that people need food to live, and these people don't have it. Maybe they figured with the lack of food in these people's systems that it would be unlikely for the anal probe to be pushed out, but personally, I just don't think aliens would want anything to do with these people. Another theory is that witches did something with these people, and once again, I do not know what witches would want to do with a bunch of colonists in Virginia. I mean, maybe back in the day, witches didn't have high standards for who they wanted to put spells on, but in general, what's even the point? I mean, they'd be putting a hex on people who will likely die due to weather and disease in the next 3 years. I don't know about you, but I think Mother Nature is doing a well enough job of killing these people herself, and just making their dead slightly more miserable is a waste of time for a witch. The last supernatural theory is that they were eaten and possessed by a large reptilian demon. Basically, the Croatoan believed in a Wendigo-like creature that was a large demon lizard that would make people jealous, paranoid, and violent, and some people believe that the colonists were iced by this lizard. Personally, I can sort of believe this one because when I went to Virginia, I got pretty paranoid, jealous, and violent. Now, this may just be because of the fact I knew I was going to Delaware next, and I was jealous of all the lucky people that weren't going to Delaware, but out of all the supernatural things that could have iced the colonists, I think this one is the most likely. And that's it for the Roanoke. No one really knows what happened to these people, but I can't figure it out. Anyway, thanks for watching. Next video will be a Thanksgiving video, so look forward to that. Bye bye.